Hello and welcome mathematicians to the next best practices video for 3rd grade. In these videos, we will share what one could expect to see and hear in a mathematics classroom, learning all about comparing and ordering fractions. Pop quiz, who can think of a Dr. Seuss book that matches this picture? If you read it out loud, it sounds just like the book, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. Get it? Let's learn about some fractions with same numerators and same denominators and how we can compare and order them. This unit of study will encompass the following key learning goals. Compare fractions with the same numerator, compare fractions with the same denominator, and plot and order numbers on the number line. So what should we see happening in the classroom to help students achieve these goals? Remember, the goal is that students compare and order fractions with same denominators or same numerators. Here we see clips from some of the STEMscopes explores. Notice that students can use a variety of strategies to visually compare fractions. Notice that you can use math tools, circle or bar models, to represent two fractions to compare, draw fraction models, and connect it to a number line. Notice that in all these examples, we are attempting to compare using the same size wholes. When ordering fractions using a number line can be helpful to plot points and determine the distance closest to whole numbers to decide greater and lesser fractions. It's important to have those math chats to discuss strategies and make connections. It is so important to use your reasoning skills to talk through what happens when we compare like numerators and like denominators. In the clarification of this benchmark, it states to reason about the size of each fraction. That means talking it out is key. Notice the mathematical thinking and reasoning poster. This is to remind us that the MTRs are how students demonstrate their understanding of mathematics. These explorations by students in the classroom could demonstrate MTRs 1, 2, 5, and 7. We need to have some hot questions on hand so that students have the opportunity to have hot conversations about comparing and ordering fractions. Here are a few examples of math chat questions from STEMscopes. Notice that these questions are open-ended and elicit thinking and explanations from our students. For example, how do fraction tiles, fraction circles, or number lines help you compare fractions? Or, if you wanted a greater piece of something, such as your favorite snack, would you share with more people or fewer people? As students engage in explorations and discuss their learning, we should hear mathematical vocabulary being used by both the teacher and students. Here is a list of some of the possible vocabulary terms we would hear in this scope. Throughout the unit of study, we should see multiple opportunities for students to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. This could include student journals, and exit tickets during the explores, and show what you know tasks as a follow-up. You may see anchor charts around the room. Students may also use fluency builders with games to practice and elaborate on their content knowledge. These activities provide the teacher with informal and formal assessments to gauge the student's understanding throughout the scope. As we visit classrooms, we may want to ask students questions to better gauge their understanding of the current content. Here we see a couple of different questions we could ask to gauge their understanding of comparing and ordering fractions. These example questions and more can be found on mathsmarts.com or by clicking on any of the benchmark links in the instructional guides. Students can continue their learning at home and most likely would want to bring home an engaging task or activity. This activity is taken from the STEMscopes parent letter. Here, students can play a game called Recipe Fractions. Here, I found a great recipe from my Dr. Seuss cookbook on green eggs and ham. I'm going to compare like units, so I'll look at the spinach and avocado. After using tools or number lines to compare, I can make a statement about my comparison. If I were a student, I could say, I know that 1/3 cup is less than 2/3 cup because 1/3 size piece is less than 2/3 size pieces. It's also closer to 0 on the number line. All right, my friends, let's think and wonder and think about all we learned about comparing and ordering fractions. In the words of Dr. Seuss, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your fraction mountain is waiting, so get on your way.